Right, friends, welcome back to Learning Space. This is a revision series, map based current events, most important module from your preliminary perspective. Two things I would like to tell you. First, most important point is spend few more seconds on each map. These maps are having crystal clear clarity. Second important aspect is I would like to be brief. Look at the first one. Quite often you come across line of control, line of actual control. I need not explain the difference. Line of control between India and Pakistan, line of actual control or LAC between India and China. When you look at these regions, this is Shaksgam Valley. This is ceded by Pakistan to China. This is the location of that valley. And the next important aspect is this is Siachen Glacier. Siachen Glacier, the boundary is not well defined. That means this line of control or LOC ends somewhere here. So there are frequent disputes with regard to Siachen Glacier between India and Pakistan. And I need not explain. Gilgit-Baltistan is this. And now Pakistan is trying to make it fifth province of Pakistan. In that context, that is into the news. And if you look further, this is the DBO road. That means starting from Darbuk right up to Daulat Beg Oldie. This DBO road is quite often in the news. Or you can say this Darbuk DBO road that is into the news. It is close to LAC and India is developing this road. Quite often in the newspapers it is cited. That is the reason for the recent clashes at line of actual control or LAC. And this is LAC and this is Galwan Valley where clashes took place some time back. This is Hot Springs area and this is Pangong Lake. And this Pangong Lake spreads across India and China. These are the important aspects. And this is Aksai Chin region. This is occupied by China. So friends, all these minute details are important. This map talks about some of the regions which are controlled by India and claimed by China. What are these regions? These are also quite often in the news. One is Demchok. Then this particular region of Shipkila, like that, two more regions are there. So friends, the names are very important from your preliminary perspective. Look at these locations. This is Doklam. This Doklam was at the tri-junction of India, Bhutan, China. It was quite often in the news around 2 years ago. And just look at it. What is the difference between Johnson Line and LAC? This is the Johnson Line, which is mentioned as 1. 2, if you look at 2, this is McDonald Line, or you can say McCartney-McDonald Line. And this 3, that is LAC. So students should have reference with regard to this Johnson Line. Second one is McDonald Line. Third one is LAC. All these things must be clear to you. And this I have already told you. This is Daulat Beg Oldie. And this is Karakoram Pass. This is also important from your exam perspective. And one more point I would like to tell you, that is McMahon Line. That is towards eastern part of the boundary between India and China. China does not respect this McMahon Line and it claims parts of Arunachal Pradesh. And if you look at the McMahon Line, two things please don't forget. One is Dibang Valley, this is here, and Tawang, which is the sacred place for the Buddhists, that is situated close to the Chinese border in Arunachal Pradesh. And Sela Tunnel is also important, so as to have the 365-day connectivity. India is constructing Sela Tunnel, that is also in Arunachal Pradesh. And a question may be asked on Pangong Lake. It is into the news because there were clashes between 4th and the 8th fingers. Fingers are nothing but mountain spurs, and the claims of India and China differ. India, China, there is a dual claim between finger number 4 and finger number 8. Because of that, Pangong Lake is into the news. And please do not forget, it is having width of around 5 kilometers, but it is 130 kilometers long. It is spread across Ladakh of India and Tibet of China, and it is Endoric Lake. Endoric means it is not a part of any other river drainage basin. And the next important aspect is, as far as Pangong Lake is concerned, it is saline but freezes during the deep winters. And if you look at India-Nepal boundary, which is into the news, friends, these areas, one is Kalapani, other one is Lipu Lake Pass, other one is Limpiyadura Pass. So these three areas and this region, this shaded region, this is claimed by Nepal. In fact, it altered its map also. This is popularly known as Kalapani dispute controversy. Friends, this is dispute arose because of the differing perceptions and interpretations of Kali river, right? So please do not forget one more important region, that is Sustha territory. Sustha territory, that is the disputed territory between Bihar state of India and Nepal, right? And the important aspect to note here is Sustha, that is in Bihar, and this Limpiyadura, Kalapani and this Lipu Lake, this area is in Uttarakhand, which is claimed by Nepal, and Nepal altered its map also. Friends, in the context of India-Nepal, students should not forget this integrated checkpost. Integrated checkposts are there not only between India and Nepal, but also with other countries like Bangladesh. Friends, when you look at integrated checkpost, these are under the Land Ports Authority of India. This is under the Ministry of Home Affairs. And if you look at these places, that is Raxaul, Jogbani, these are quite often in the news in the context of integrated checkpost. Right, friends? Look at the next one, Ken-Betwa River Linking Project. All of you are familiar. There is National Perspective Plan of 1980 as far as interlinking of rivers is concerned. And recently there was a memorandum of agreement was signed between two state governments of Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and Government of India with regard to this Ken-Betwa project. This is transferring water from Ken Basin to the Betwa Basin. In fact, these two are the tributaries of Yamuna River. It benefits Bundelkhand region. This is one aspect. Next important aspect is Daudhan Dam. Daudhan Dam will be built on Ken River. This name of the dam you should not forget. Another important aspect is Panna Tiger Reserve, that is going to be affected. Part of its area is going to be submerged. In this context, these sanctuaries, that is Nauradehi, Rani Durgavati of Madhya Pradesh and Ranipur of Uttar Pradesh, these are going to be integrated with Panna Tiger Reserve for proper conservation of wildlife. So from your examination perspective, this Rani Durgavati, Nauradehi wildlife sanctuaries are in Madhya Pradesh and Ranipur, that is in Uttar Pradesh. Look at the next one. Two more important river linking projects which quite often you hear in the news. One is Daman Ganga Pinjal. Of course, this involves two states, Maharashtra and Gujarat, and that is to take care of water supply needs of Mumbai metropolitan region. Second is Partapi. Here the excess waters available in the western ghats of the country, that is proposed to be transferred to the regions of Gujarat, that is the water deficit regions of Saurashtra and Kutch in Gujarat. So this project is Partapi interlinking project. So friends, when you look at the National Perspective Plan, this is the first project which is taking shape after 40 years. And the next two on the pipeline are Daman Ganga Pinjal, Partapi. Look at the next one. This is Suez Canal. This was blocked for more than a week. In this context, Suez Canal is into the news. I need not explain. This Suez Canal is 193 kilometers. And it came into the hands of Egypt government in 1950s. All of you are familiar. And it was blocked for some time when there was war in 1967. And this Suez Canal was blocked for more than a week because of some problem faced by some ship. And from your exam perspective, the length of the Suez Canal is around 193 kilometers, and this was opened in 1869, much before Panama Canal. And the length of Panama Canal, that is short in comparison to Suez Canal, and around 12 to 13% of, very important, 12 to 13% of entire maritime trade that passes through this Suez Canal. This much is more than enough. Look at the next one. By using Suez Canal, if a ship is to go from Taiwan right up to Rotterdam, Rotterdam is the important port in Netherlands, and if it goes through Suez Canal, and if it is blocked, and if it goes through Cape of Good Hope, what is the difference? You can see the distance difference is around 3,500 nautical miles. 1 nautical mile is 1.852 kilometers, or you can say roughly the extra distance varies from 5,000 to 6,000 kilometers. So because of that reason, Suez Canal assumed a lot of significance, right? And it connects Asia and Europe, shortest route. That is the right description. And this slide I am showing only to look at what is the seaborne oil trade, which is the strait through which the seaborne oil trade passes. The most passes through Strait of Hormuz naturally. The second highest is Strait of Malacca. In fact, this is Strait of Hormuz, then Strait of Malacca. These two together account for more than 50% of seaborne oil. Friends, the reason is this Strait of Hormuz that is situated in this Persian Gulf region, which has got good natural resources of oil and natural gas. And the second important aspect is Strait of Malacca, because here predominant traffic passes through Strait of Malacca after this Strait of Hormuz, because of the simple reason several East Asian and Southeast Asian countries are situated. Friends, in this context, students should also have clarity with regard to what is Gulf of Aqaba, what is the Strait of Tiran. Friends, Straits of Tiran, this is situated here, and this is Gulf of Aqaba, this is Gulf of Suez, after which this Suez Canal starts. And another important aspect is this is a Sinai Peninsula. Sinai Peninsula is part of Egypt, which is quite often in the news. And if you look at Gulf of Aqaba, 4 sovereign countries have boundary with Gulf of Aqaba. One is Egypt, second one is Israel, next one is Jordan, and the next one is Saudi Arabia. And Saudi Arabia is building a modern city, Neom. Why Saudi Arabia is building a modern city? Because it wants to diversify its economy. Because Saudi Arabia knows very well, as we progress next 2-3 decades, the requirement of crude oil will come down drastically. Look at the next one. Ethiopian forces captured 2 towns in Tigray region. Friends, Tigray region is into the news because civil war is going on and several people are suffering and they are migrating to neighboring country. Friends, this Tigray region that is part of Ethiopia and which is into the news because of civil war. When I talk about Ethiopia, 2 more things comes to my mind. One more is this is Al-Fashqa region dispute with the Sudan. So when I talk about Al-Fashqa region dispute, that is between Ethiopia and Sudan, and I have already told you Tigray region, that is part of Ethiopia where civil war is going on. One more most important thing comes to my mind is Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam. Just look at Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam that is almost completed on this Blue Nile in Ethiopia, somewhere here. So it is constructed on Blue Nile and Egypt. For Egypt, most important river is Nile. So therefore, because of this Grand Ethiopian Renaissance Dam, are popularly known as GERD, and it is going to become the largest hydropower plant in Africa. But the threat is Egypt is threatened because it felt that water resources to Egypt may be affected. Friends, quite often we have seen Haleb Triangle. Haleb Triangle that is into the news, that is disputed between Sudan and Egypt. And another important aspect I would like to see, by the students is Red Sea boundary. If you look at Red Sea, there are 4 countries having sovereign boundary this side and that side 2 countries. So students must have clarity, and of course if you add Gulf of Aqaba, that is different. And if you look at Red Sea, here this is in fact Eritrea and this is in fact Djibouti. So starting from Djibouti, this is Eritrea, this is Sudan, this is Egypt. This side Saudi Arabia, this is Yemen. So these countries one should not miss. Look at the next one. This Puntland region. This is into the news. At the same time, Empty Quarter. This Empty Quarter region is of Arabian Peninsula. Please do not forget. Empty Quarter is into the news. It is part of Arabian Peninsula and majority of which lies in Saudi Arabia. This Puntland region, this is part of Somalia, and these 2 regions are into the news because of the proliferation of desert locust. Desert locust proliferation, conducive conditions have been created in this Puntland region and Empty Quarter region of Arabian Peninsula because of the simple reason the conditions have been created for the proliferation of desert locusts. Some people cite climate change, right friends? Some people cite positive Indian dipole. Because of the positive Indian Ocean dipole, let me correct myself, because of positive Indian Ocean dipole, here conditions, favorable conditions have been created in Empty Quarter region and Puntland region for the proliferation of desert locusts. Friends, Myanmar is into the news. Why this is into the news, all of you are well aware, because of army takeover of the administration. Several civilians are being killed. In this context, when you look at Myanmar, do not forget 2 things. One is Kaladan project, that is reaching Mizoram, and it is multimodal. Some distance you have to travel by sea, some distance by Kaladan river, some distance by land. That's why it is called multimodal project. Third one is, or you can say the next one is trilateral highway. Trilateral highway that is mentioned here, just have a glance at it, right? It connects right up to Thailand from More in Manipur, and just have a glance at it. Arunachal Pradesh, 520 kilometers, the longest border with Myanmar. And if you look at Nagaland, it is the shortest border with Myanmar. And I have already told you about Kaladan project. At the same time, I talked about a trilateral highway and 16 kilometers on either side. That is, free zone is there where free movement of the people is allowed. This is another thing students must have clarity. Look at the next one. Some of the regions. Sometimes UPSC asks, friends, Manesar, this is in Haryana, around 50 kilometers or so from Delhi. This is in Haryana and it is automobile hub where the Maruti Suzuki factory is situated. All of you are familiar with Gift City and Dholera. Dholera is part of Delhi Mumbai Industrial Corridor. So Gift City and Dholera, these 2 are in Gujarat. And International Financial Services Center, that is coming up in Gift City. And then IT hub, this is Magarpatta, this is in Pune, and automobile hub, that is Chakan, this is in Pune. These things are also important. One more is Gachibowli. I need not tell, it is in Hyderabad. Sri City, that is in Andhra Pradesh, and it is electronics cluster. Then Sri Perambur, that is automobile hub near Chennai, around 50 kilometers or so. Look at the next one. This is quite often in the news. These are the nesting sites of olive ridley turtles. Friends, here one, this is Gahirmata beach. This is prominent nesting site. Then here second one is Devi river mouth. Third one is Rushikulya beach. And look for the locations where they are situated. Another important aspect is this is Bhitarkanika Wildlife Sanctuary, and this is in the estuary region of Baitarani Brahmani rivers. That is the important aspect to note. And this is Gahirmata Marine Wildlife Sanctuary and Gahirmata Beach that separates these 2. On one side Bhitarkanika and on the other side Gahirmata Marine Wildlife Sanctuary. Look for 5 archaeological sites which were declared as iconic sites, and what for they stand for, that is also important. This is Haryana's Rakhi Gari, this is Dholavira in Gujarat, and these two are the prominent places of Harappan civilization. And one more important feature of this Dholavira Gujarat is it is known for rainwater harvesting. Similarly, look for Hastinapur in Uttar Pradesh, and it is having the relics of early Indo-Aryans. And similarly, Shivsagar in Assam, several ceramic assemblages were found, and the Tamil Nadu site, that is Adijanallur, that pertains to ancient Tamil Brahmi script. Look at the next one. This lithium triangle is into the news. ABC, easy to remember. A means here Argentina, B means Bolivia, C means Chile. So this is, you can say, this lithium triangle. And please do not forget, when I talk about Bolivia and Paraguay, these two are the countries landlocked in entire North America and South America. One is Bolivia, second one is Paraguay. These two are the landlocked countries in the entire North America and South America. And ABC, this is the lithium triangle. Lithium is extensively used, or you can say at present it is the mainstay of batteries. When you look at your mobile phone, when you look at your electric storage batteries, this is the mainstay nowadays. And what are the reasons for it? First reason is high energy density. A question may be asked, why lithium became the important mainstay of these batteries? First one is high energy density. The density of energy stored is high. Second is high charge and discharge rate capabilities. That means charging and discharging, it can withstand number of times, more number of times, or you can say thousands of times. So friends, because of these reasons, this is the mainstay as on date. In fact, Indian delegation, that is from Khanij Bidesh India Limited or Kabil, that visited in fact this region because to have the tie-up with this lithium. And if you look further, at present, or you can say Australia was the top country in lithium mine production, but if you look at the reserves, topmost country is Chile. So this is the important point to note, and remaining things I have given here. This lithium is also into the news because of other reason. There is a place called Mandya in Karnataka, which is around 100 kilometers from Bengaluru, and recently there was a news report that lithium reserves were found in India in Mandya. Look at the next one. This Bahrain-Israel normalization agreement. Friends, here if you look at the diplomatic relations normalization, one after the other country, they are becoming, or you can say starting the diplomatic relations with Israel. So friends, Israel and Saudi Arabia, the two blocks, they are coming together, you can say. Friends, now another important aspect is UAE became the first country to normalize relations. I am talking about Gulf Arab country. Other than Gulf Arab countries, other Arab countries are Egypt and Jordan. But if you look at Gulf Arab country, UAE started this, then Bahrain followed it, and several more countries are likely to follow. Look for the location of Bahrain, which is situated here. Friends, we discussed several important things. Have a nice day. Thank you.